Yo, what's good, guys, and welcome to a brand new Call of Duty video. Now, it's gonna be a little bit different than most Call of Duty videos that I've done in the past. This one we're just gonna be looking at some news. This is a little bit easier where I can drop content in between videos and stuff like that. So that's pretty much what this is. So if you really just don't go check out any type of gaming news or just any other type of informative news on first person shooters or any other game that I feel like is informative in my opinion, or just games that I play in general, then this is what this is. This is for you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people tend to not go look up, any brand new news or whatever for most games or just the games that they generally play. So this is what this is for. So if you enjoy these videos for what it is, man, take it for what it is, and you just think it's informative for you. Feel free to subscribe. I'm trying to do a little bit more of these. I just feel like this is a little bit different from just gameplay videos and stuff like that. So if you're new to the channel, thank you for stopping by. If you want to see more of this content, feel free to hit the subscribe button. That always helps. You know what I'm saying? If you're a returning viewer, thank you for that also. And we're just gonna jump into this, man, and see what they talking about. Now, this article did catch my eye as I was looking through different articles here on Charlie Intel. You know what I'm saying? It's saying that the IW engine is holding back the franchise and it's Warzone's fault. I think that's pretty. I don't want to say bold statement, but I kind of agree with it in a sense, just a little bit maybe. And we're just gonna take a look into the article and whatnot. And it goes on to say, since Modern Warfare 2019 release, Call of Duty has been under the influence of IW 8.0 engine developed by Infinity Ward and is becoming tiresome. Now, my take on the new engine, when it first came out in 2019, I thought it looked great. They definitely, I would say, okay, so if you take, from before 2019, those engines, and then start up to 2019 and up, you know what I'm saying? I think this engine itself, this IW engine, has had a way more problem. Let me just throw that out there first. Like, it's had way more problems than any other Call of Duty engine, in my opinion, than any of the other ones. You feel me? Because back in the day, really, those older engines of what Call of Duty had back in the day, from COD 4 all the way up to BO4. There really wasn't that many problems from like hackers being able to hack the game, and that's mostly on PC side, you know what I'm saying? But in general, we're just gonna say hackers in general, from hackers being able to hack the game, and also through when we get updates and the game breaking or the engine breaking or something breaks, you know what I'm saying? We having issues or the game just, it crashes, we got bugs. There's you can't level up sometimes, you know what I'm saying? The XP doesn't work, or the loadout, your gunsmith doesn't work, something breaks within the gunsmith, challenges not tracking, there's a whole bunch, camo's not tracking, a whole lot of other bullshit that just breaks the game in general, you know what I'm saying? So back in the day, we really didn't have a lot of game breaking, I want to say game breaking, but big bugs. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember back in the day, like, really, at growing up playing Call of Duty, bro, I remember, like, cause everybody played on console anyways back in the day, so you really never ran into hackers unless you ran into people, like, you go back and play the older Call of Duty. Say, like, you play COD 4, and then now the main Call of Duty is Modern Warfare 3. You know what I'm saying? You go back and play COD 4, you might run into a couple of people with a dev kit, or you go play World at War while NW3 is the main game. You might run into somebody that's hacking, somebody's running a dev kit or something like that. That's to be expected. But as the main Call of Duty, through that entire era of the golden era of Call of Duty, you never really ran into hackers like as much as you ran into nowadays. And then on top of that, I really never ran into game breaking bugs as much as I do nowadays. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my take on that. Then it goes on to say Treyarch, Sledgehammer Games, and Infinity Ward previously developed Call of Duty titles with their own unique engines, allowing annual Call of Duty titles to feel like a new experience, but everything changed with Modern Warfare 2019 and Warzone as their influence extends to COD 2024. Makes sense, because Warzone itself is run off the IW engine. So that makes those developers, they got to use the same type of engine within their game. You know what I'm saying? And so that those newer games or new titles can actually run, the IW, can run the Warzone experience or whatever. So I understand that, and that's how they push Warzone and stuff like that. So NW 2019 was a massive hit for Call of Duty. Yes, it was a major hit. I also, just to this day, if Modern Warfare 2019 did not have Warzone, I don't think it was gonna be as big because a lot of people didn't like the big map. The campaign was great. Spec Ops was Spec Ops. We throw that to the side. We throw that over there. We don't. That's over there by itself. And then you had multiplayer, but a lot of people didn't like multiplayer because of the maps. The maps were shit, and the way the game ran. The way that people played it, the way they tried to implement the slow gameplay and catering to the casuals, it was shit. You know what I'm saying? Was dog water, horrible, terrible. I would stand on that hill, bro. But when they implemented Warzone, that's when the game really took off. And of course, people was inside. You know, COVID. You know, that damn sure was inside because I was my last year in college, and that was working. So when my job was like, hey, we got to shut down because of COVID, and the school was like, hey, you can't come to school because of COVID. Everything's gonna be online now. Shit, people was inside. You feel me? I know damn well I was inside on the game a lot. You know what I'm saying? During class on the game, and then most of the time I didn't even really have class. Most of my teachers sent in recorded lectures. You know what I'm saying? Or they sent, you just had work. So majority of the time I really wasn't even sitting on Zoom calls. I was just playing the game, doing homework, checking emails, type shit. You feel me? Going on, it says, let's see where we were. Modern Warfare 2019 was a massive hit for Call of Duty, and as not only was it a huge success in terms of its multiplayer, but it has also introduced players to Warzone, so it's not surprised to see the developers clinging onto this engine, especially as it makes the integration with the Battle Royale that much easier. Facts. That's what they was pushing, and it made everything else going forward a lot easier because every game was, like I said, running on the same engine. Black Ops Cold War was the BO3's engine, was on the BO3 engine, but used tools from MW19's IW8, distancing itself from the Black Ops engine while aligning itself with the Warzone. I like the BO3 Cold War engine. I liked it because it felt classic. It felt like it wasn't foreign to me. It felt great. It felt like I took a step back into the older days. You know what I'm saying? Or the golden era, or just a classic Treyarch engine. So I really didn't have gripes with. To be honest, bro, I think Cold War was the best Call of Duty we had in this new era of Call of Duty. I ain't gonna lie to you. Starting with MW2 2022, all the Call of Duty games will be developed with IW9, an upgraded version of Modern Warfare 2019's engine, and is led to MW2, MW3, and Warzone, all feeling extremely similar. You gotta keep it similar. You make it foreign, people ain't gonna like it. With Call of Duty 2024 waiting in the wings, one thing is clear: the game is being developed on the IW9 engine, as confirmed by ex-general manager of Call of Duty, Johanna Faries. In an interview with the Washington Post. Treyarch are reportedly developing the next Call of Duty game, and although unconfirmed, it is expected to be another Black Ops title. If this is true, COD 24 will be the first Black Ops in the franchise history without the Black Ops engine. Yeesh. I don't know. I like Treyarch. You know what? I mean, thinking about it too, Brett, and I think a lot of people would die on this hill too. I think Treyarch engine is everybody's favorite. Even from back in the day, like I loved MW2. I was on the fence with MW3. So my take on it is, well, from my opinion, BO1 people love BO1. People would die on that hill. They love BO. Me going into BO1, I didn't like it as much. I don't know. I was kind of indifferent about it. I didn't hate it, and I didn't like was. Oh my God, this is the best Call of Duty ever. I wasn't like that. I was just in the middle. I was like, this is a great game. You feel me? Like, this is a good game. But then when I touched BO2, yeesh, everything changed. That's when I became a real Treyarch fan. That's when I really became a big Treyarch fan. When I touched that BO2, I said, yep, this is it for me. I don't want to play no other Call of Duty, developer game other than Treyarch. Treyarch is, they my high hopes. And then it was Infinity Ward. And then Sledgehammer was like, well, you just a little brother of these two. So I don't know them stepping away, but it had to because it makes sense because they got to stay in line with Warzone. So I can understand. I wish they could just. Imagine if Treyarch actually developed all like the main engine. If Treyarch was in a position like in NW. Of making like the engine for all the games, bro. I think that and Warzone, I think that's when Warzone would probably feel the best, in my opinion. but we'll probably never get that because IW, they developed it and then they just got to learn from them of how the engine works and all that other shit. I mean, so far when they integrated with the IW engine back when they back in Cold War, it didn't feel it felt fine to me. You know what I'm saying? It felt fine. It wasn't horrible. No, yeah, it felt. Did it feel better? No. In terms of movement and the way the game feels and aiming and stuff like that, I think 2019 had it down packed. I'm not gonna lie. Aiming wise, I think 2019 had it. And with the movement and stuff like that, they had it. But of course, the movement wasn't intended to work the way it was because that was a glitch. But now, with the movement and how it works, with the movement we got now and stuff like that, I think if they would take a step back to like the 2019 aiming, I think they got something. I'm not gonna lie, I think they got something. We're just gonna have to see. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know. It ain't looking bad though. You know what I'm saying? Warzone right now Rebirth right now feels pretty good. The way in Modern Warfare 2 has felt through this, from launch to now has felt a lot better, way better. I still think hands down that Modern Warfare 2 this year, this Call of Duty that we got now, Modern Warfare 2 is really, really, really good. I'm not gonna lie. It's the best it's not the best out of the new era. Cold War I think is the best out of the new era. Then I'll put Modern Warfare 2, and then I'll probably put 2019 under that, and then the rest is this shit like Vanguard, and then what else we fucking have? Are we in Modern Warfare 3? We Modern Warfare 3. I'm tripping. Modern Warfare 2 is shit. Vanguard and Modern Warfare 2. That's how I'm gonna put it in the new era. You got Cold War, Modern Warfare 3, 2019, Modern Warfare 2, then Vanguard was shit. Flip it. Nah, flip that. I flipped that because Vanguard felt way better as terms of like movement and not holding me. Flip that. Modern Warfare 2 felt like shit the entire year. I hated that. God, I hated that game. The game was horrible. All right, moving on. Why is Warzone to blame? It seems like the franchise inherent tied to Warzone completely prevents innovation from truly happening. Yes, I ain't gonna lie. I agree. It's very slim, there's very slim room of innovation and innovating within all of this because of Warzone. I'm not gonna lie to you. They really gotta get big brain to actually innovate and change some shit up and bring something new to the table. Now going back into the past, they could bring some good innovations back. You know what I'm saying? One innovation I wish they would bring back that I till this day I think if they could get it to fucking work, if they could get it to work when they first did it the first time, Jesus, that shit was horrible, game breaking. I swear to God, game just did not work. The HQ, the headquarters. If they could get that, like where you could just go hang out and go, you got the shooter range, and remember how you could open up supplies and all that stuff in World War II? That was cool. That was really cool. If they could bring that back and get it to work, I'm all here for it. And then on top of that, some of the things that they did within that game, like the certain events and going for different camo. As far as like adding content to the game, now I understand they had supply drops and shit like that, but as far as just added content to the game after they fixed everything, bro, and having the headquarters actually to start fucking working, that stuff was cool. If they could find a way of doing that. And I like the way they implemented events into NW3 too right now. That's fine. But if you can implement the headquarters and, meeting up with your friends and walking around and all that other cool stuff, if they could get that to work and find that, I'm all here. But going back into this is exactly what we saw with the original Warzone and its Black Ops Cold War and Vanguard integrations. Bugs, problems were popping up all over the place, not to mention major balancing problems with the weapons. Yup. That's another thing. They need to figure out how to balance weapons. They suck at balancing weapons nowadays. Now I understand there's a whole shit ton of balancing and there's a whole shit ton of weapons, and then you integrate in different games with each other. But damn, y'all gotta figure this shit out soon, bro. Cause that shit's fucking annoying. Y'all making a pool of you got a big pool of weapons, but the shit is like this. You know what I'm saying? It's like this, but you got a big ass pool of weapons. But it's a handful of weapons that only us the community is fucking using. Y'all need to figure this shit the fuck out with balancing. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's more the fact like they nerfing too much. Just leave certain shit where they at and then buff shit. That's how I feel. But I don't know if that's even in the right way to even go about that sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that might not be the play. You never know. But I think they just need to experiment with just doing that instead of just, okay, well, this is reigning supreme right now. It's going crazy. Let's try to buff something to counter that, and then see where that puts the meta or put, you know, the pool of weapons and stuff like that. That's how I feel about it. But I mean, they would just have to test it out. You know what I'm saying? They would just have to test it out and see what the fuck, you know, what will happen. This is also likely why we may never see any drastically new and innovative features in COD multiplayer, as the battle royale emphasizes realism, so movement enhancements such as exosuits and even specialists don't fit Warzone style, especially as the latter is also Apex Legend USP. That makes sense. That makes sense. So I understand everything with this article. I understand everything that they're explaining and all that other stuff. It just they gotta get big brain, bro. They gotta figure out. They gotta test a lot of shit, and then on top of that, they need to stop fucking firing people, bro. Like them firing game testers is so stupid. That's my opinion. That makes sense to me. It didn't, like, they also need to test more. They don't test enough, because every time they drop they drop something, a new update or something, bro, a patch, whatever it may be, it breaks the fucking game, bro. It's a little tiring, but it is what it is, bro. This is what we expect from them, for real. So ain't really much we can really do. We just gotta sit here and wait and hope and pray that, you know, the next Call of Duty actually, when it comes and it integrates, we just gotta pray and hope that the engine integrates well with with Warzone, and hopefully that it don't break shit. Do we expect them to break shit? Yes. Every time I get the new Call of Duty, bro, I gotta go ahead and fucking do their job with the fouls and pray and hope that my game don't crash. So until they start, you know, sending out patches and shit to fix all that bullshit. But it is what it is, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video for what it is, man. That's it for today. That, you know, it's a little article that I wanted to check out, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully you guys enjoyed it for what it is. If you're new to the channel, thank you for stopping by. I really do appreciate you guys. I really do. Thank you guys so much. Feel free to subscribe if you want to see more of this type of content in the future, bro. It's been your boy, I Ain't Human. I'm out. Peace.